Hello, my name is Zora. I am an intuitive reader and a psychic medium, and I've been getting called lately to start this channel, to hopefully give some clarity, or even just a little bit of guidance to those who need it. So it's very nice to meet you. This is my very first video on my channel here. I'm a little bit nervous, you could probably sense. Um, and yeah, I cannot wait to start this journey with you. Um, my channel name is Crimson Rain Intuition, and because of the channel name, I thought it'd be cute to give my collective a little name, so I'm going to call you guys Rubies. So, hello and welcome in, Rubies. It is very wonderful to see you here. And let's get started with the very first channel reading on this channel. So, yesterday, I was called to sit down, pull some cards, and as I was pulling the cards, I got some messages from them. So I've wrote down a lot of the messages and channelings that I was getting from them into this journal right here. And the cards that I pulled yesterday, I have them right here. So I'm going to show you the cards. We have tarot cards and we have oracle cards. The oracle cards I will show you at the very end of the video. I'm going to start off by showing you the tarot cards first, and as I show you the tarot cards, I will read to you the channelings that I was getting from them, and then I will read you the in-book meaning for this tarot card. So, let us begin. We are starting off strong with the Crow Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. It is amazing. Okay. Alright. Also, I don't know if this is important to any of you or if any of you know this, but I am being called to show you. But I have a bookmark for my little journal right here, and it is a June Lucas bookmark. So if any of you listen to his music, there's that for you. And if you don't, then that's okay. I do suggest checking him out though. He's very cool. Alrighty. So, at the very bottom of the deck, after I pulled out all of the cards that we needed, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Very beautiful card. These were the channelings that I was getting for this card. So the first thing that stood out to this card for me, I'm very sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. And that's okay. It's okay to be nervous when you're trying out new things. That's all right. Life lesson. The first thing that I noticed that was really sticking out to me was the crow. Also, the tree in this card almost looks like an oak tree. So I don't know if oak trees are important to any of you, but that came out to me. It has very sunset colors, especially down here, or even dawn. So sunrise, sunset, those might be important times to you, or maybe you'll see like a really pretty sunset or sunrise soon and you'll be like, aha! But yeah, and then the last one that I was getting here is the nest. And this is another channel that was coming in a lot as I was looking through the other cards, is the nest. So something about nests is really important. Maybe making yourself more at home. Maybe you might have birds that are making nests around you now, especially since it's, at least for me here, it's summer or spring, soon turning into summer. Or maybe you have pet birds as well. Another thing that I was getting while channeling through these cards is there's a lot to do with birds. Birds and feathers are very, very, very important. And obviously a crow might be very important to you as well. So those are the channelings that I was getting from this. This was at the bottom of the deck after I finished pulling. I am now going to read you the in-book definition of the Seven of Pentacles. Hold on, I have to find my pentacles. I am always lost when trying to find them. The crow rests after embarking on the difficult task of gathering a treasure trove of bright reflective coins that will adorn her nest and make a protective space for her fledglings. The Seven of Pentacles asks that you think about the long term when investing your time and energy. Although quick short-term gains may be had, in the end, they will not last. Only through hard work and planning will you discover lasting benefits from your work. That is a very beautiful meaning. All right. Also, if you might hear little pitter-patters, it's because it's raining, so... But I hope it's joyful. On to the next card. Now this was really interesting when I did pull this card. This was in the middle of the deck when I split the deck after pulling all the cards. So we have the Ace of Swords. However, when I was writing down the channelings that I was getting from this card, I put down the Ace of Wands. So before I get into this card, I'm going to go ahead and read about the Ace of Wands in this deck, because it was a very important message that somebody here needed to know. Oh my goodness. We finally found it. The crow tries to defend his territory at the top of the mountain. The approaching crows below, are all too eager to knock him down and take his spot. This card is a reminder that although you've made it, you must not be complacent, as there will be those who believe your position should be theirs. The Seven of Wands asks that you remain self-confident and have courage when facing challenges. It won't always be easy at the top, but you've earned the right to be there. Wow. That was... Okay. Now, for the channelings that I got of the Ace of Swords. Oh my god. Wow. I just realized that I just read you the Seven of Wands, not the Ace of Wands. So I'm actually going to go find the Ace of Wands now, but somebody needed to hear the the Seven of Wands, myself included. So we're going to get to that. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a little all over the place, but you know what? That's okay, because nobody's perfect. So now we're actually going to find the Ace of Wands. Close. There we go. The crow swoops from the sky and lands upon a wand, marking the beginning of a path to a bright, shiny city in the distance. This card affirms that the crow is on the right road and opportunities for success are laid out before her. The blooming spring flowers represent a fresh start. Flowing through the air are little white feathers, bringing the message that the Ace of Wands represents a new beginning that is divinely guided. Now, we're going to move on to the Ace of Swords. Okay. So, for the Ace of Swords, once again, the first thing that I noticed was the crow. Also, there seems to be a little rose down here, and that was very significant to me. That popped out immediately. Also, the color red is something that comes up a lot when I was channeling for these cards. So the color red might be very significant to some of you. Also, I do know that the color red can mean passion or romance. So, also, the rose, that could be a little sign. Maybe we have some romance. Or it doesn't even have to be romance. It could also be passion for a hobby. Or it could be even a passion for your own self-love. Because self-love is just as important, if not more important, in my opinion, than romantic love or any other type of love. Not to say that the others aren't as worthy or as beautiful, but self-love is at the forefront of all of them. Okay. I also noticed there's little mountains down here, and there's mountains that come up a lot in my channeling. So mountains, mountainscapes might be very important. You might live near mountains, you might live literally in the mountains, or you might just love the way they look, but they're very important. The greenery as well. There's some greenery here and some greenery bits over here. Also, there's these beautiful like little leaves at the top of the crow's head above the sword that I really noticed. And another color that was very, very important while I was channeling was green. And green is associated with the heart chakra. So you might be very in tune with your heart chakra right now, or maybe your heart chakra is feeling a little bit antsy, or you might just love nature, or you might even be a earth sign. That is another important thing with green. So, speaking of green, this is also green. Okay. Fog, smoke, and clouds. Clouds and fog are really important as well. They also came up with a lot of the other cards. And honestly, you could be somebody who loves the sky. The sky is very important. Or somebody who loves rain, because I was channeling a lot of rain before coming in here to start this reading. Also, you might be a person that loves the feeling of fog or just looking at clouds in general, but they're very important to the channeling message. Also, another thing as well, fog makes me think of like horror movies or like the horror genre. So that's something that you might be into. You might like scary movies, scary games, or books, whatever it may be. That's also very important. That's something that came up for me while channeling. We also have the transparency of the sword right here that came to me. And the first thing that I'm thinking of is, you know that scene in Mulan where she's holding the sword up and you have like the reflection in the sword? I'm almost feeling something along those lines of that like very empowering energy. But yeah. Also, Mulan might be very important to you, or Asian culture may be very important to you as well. You might be Asian and that might be your culture. Also, another thing that I wanted to add as well, um, this was something that came into me as well. Whoever is watching this, obviously not all of you because this is a collective, but a majority of you are people of color and or people of the LGBTQIA plus community, which, by the way, hi, hello, you are welcome here. This is a safe space for you. But that is something that was very important. Now on to the meaning of the Ace of Swords. This page will not turn. The Ace of Swords brings dynamic, raw energy, and for those who have the mental and physical strength, it offers a power that will quickly break through any barrier. Very Mulan energy. The Ace of Swords card represents a time of ideas, problem solving, and quick-mindedness. Whether you are arguing for a cause or answering questions during a job interview, you will feel prepared to articulate your position with passion and purpose. Which, once again, passion very much with the rose. Okay, now we're going on to the actual cards that I pulled. These two cards that I'm going to show you right now, they fell on the floor, and personally, I believe when a card falls on the floor, it means tenfold. That card times 10. So, the first card that we have that fell on the floor is the Eight of Cups. Oh, I love these decks. Also, this deck kind of reminds me of artists like Picasso, like especially his Starry Night. So some of you might be writers, artists, dancers, musicians, very much creators. And some of you as well might be in an art major or into art history, or like artists like Picasso, or maybe even have a style kind of like him. So that was something that was very important as well. Also, I forgot to mention that the numbers that are very important that were coming to me yesterday were the number 7, the number 8, the number 9, the number 3, the number 10, and the number 5. Also, while I was channeling, I was listening to Zelda music, so some of you out there might be gamers, or might have a special place in your heart for Zelda, much like myself. Or once again, might like whimsy, magical stories or games. And another thing that I got is a lot of you out there, if not all of you, like the fantasy genre. The fantasy genre sticks out to you a lot. It's very, very, very important. Now, back to the card that I was channeling. So the first thing that I noticed was the moon, the crescent moon, the way that she's kind of glowing, very blue. Blue is another color that was coming forward to me, so that's also very important. Also, blue is associated with the throat chakra. So once again, you might be very in tune with your throat chakra, or you might be too in tune with it. It's maybe overwhelming a little bit. I just saw 2 crows out the window. And it also, sorry, train of thought, spirit. You also might be having a hard time using your throat chakra, which honestly, I've been struggling with that a little bit myself, so it's okay. It's okay. Also, there's this kind of like ethereal glow around the crow. That was something that very much stuck out to me, very important. Um, I'm getting the image of your aura being very bright, or you might just be a very bright and bubbly person. It doesn't matter how you dress, what you look like. You could just be sitting in the corner and you have this very bright sun energy, which is something that came up to me while channeling. And honestly, good for you. Good for you. Also, I don't know, but there's a bunch of white here. I was channeling snow, so it might still be kind of snowy where you're at because, we're starting to move into spring. Also, I know for me, where I live, it still kind of snows a little bit through the beginning, especially the very beginning of spring, before we finally start getting into spring bright and sunny and yay, no more winter. Also, winter might be a very important season to you. It might be your favorite season. You might just really like the snow or the cold. I'm hearing winter wonderland. Also, excuse the noise. You might also very much like winter holidays like Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah, or you might just like the spirit of snow or winter. And then also, there's this really pretty golden glow over this card. Over the mountains in this card. And that was also very, very important. It was sticking out, and it also reminded me of the sun. And specifically, I'm thinking of Helios, like rising above. So that might be very important to you. Greek mythology might be very important to you. Also, in another card that we'll get to later, Apollo was coming to me, as were other Celtic. That is a whole lot of birds. Oh my god. Anyways, you might work with. Oh, and now we're starting to get some sleet. I apologize. You might work with gods in the Greek pantheon. Words? Throat chakra, I'm telling you. Or the Celtic, because those were the main two that were kind of coming up. Okay. You're gonna hear some hail, some sleet. I apologize. This is our spring right now. Now onto the Eight of Cups. Definition. The crow stands on the riverbank, her back to the gold cups that symbolize material wealth and possessions. She is ready to fly off and leave it all behind. The moon represents her shadow self and her true nature, one she tries to suppress but cannot deny. The Eight of Cups asks that you look inward and discover what it is you want from your life. What is important to you? This card suggests that although it will take considerable strength to let go and walk away, it may be necessary to achieve true happiness. And right as I said that, it starts going really hard. We're gonna close that up. This was the second card that fell onto the floor. We have the Eight of Swords. So immediately, I noticed that this card seems to be like a cold horizon. And there's also, once again, a bunch of clouds everywhere, and there's a bunch of like blue, so that could be very important. I also got the feeling of being trapped, being bound. And the red bandage on this crow, once again, the color red came out to me, was very important. And as I was trying to get this card, I noticed that I was having a hard time trying to get my thoughts together. So maybe you're dealing with that right now. Maybe you're dealing with having a hard time wrangling in your mind. And that's okay. We all go through it. It's not the most fun, but in this card as well, I noticed that there was some yellows up in here, and then there was the blues, and then it's kind of green. It's like green rock, like that dark green rock. Also, dark green rocks might be important. I have one in my mind, but I can never remember the name of it. I think it's like alligator agate or something like that. That might be important to you. And obviously for yellows, we have the solar plexus, and then those green and blues, we have our heart and our throat chakras again. So might be something that you need. Wow, it is just coming from this one side. This one window is just completely clean. Also, speaking of the fog that I was talking about, out my window I can see a bunch of fog out in the distance over mountains. So, and then another thing that came out to me in this card was the sword hilts. And they kind of remind me of talons. I know. You're kind of like, what? Or you might be. I don't want to assume. I was also very much like, huh? Where did that come from? But hey. It's what the card was wanting. Okay? I don't make the rules. I just channel what needs to be channeled. And sometimes it does not make any sense whatsoever. And that's okay. Now, to the Eight of Swords definition. Also, the number 88 might be very important because we had a 8 of Cups and then an 8 of Swords. And here we go. The crow is caught in a cage of swords and wrapped in a long red ribbon that represents her limiting self-beliefs. She is a prisoner, powerless due to a lack of vision or inability to break free from her self-imposed cage. The Eight of Swords is a message to take back your power by looking at your situation from a different angle. The Eight of Swords denotes a challenge due to restrictions that appear to be overwhelming or beyond your capabilities. You have the power to overcome any problem. The Eight of Swords asks that you look inward to discover the potential within. Wow. It's that feeling of being trapped. A feeling I know all too well. The next card that we pulled. Wait, where did that come from, Spirit? Was the sword, or the Page of Swords. And it was reversed. So I'm going to keep it reversed while I read the channelings that I was getting. Crow feathers are very important. The little feathers falling from the crow right there. We have falling feathers or leaves. And specifically I was seeing like, they almost remind me of like oak tree leaves, I believe. Or maybe like maple tree leaves. But leaves falling, and those two leaves specifically, and then just falling feathers were very important. Once again, the sword hilt stuck out to me. I wasn't hearing talon, but it's like there's something about that hilt that's important. We have flying above obstacles. because if you look here, when I flip the card over, you see it almost looks like there's the clouds again, and like they're flying above these like mountainscapes. So, flying above obstacles. Moving towards the light, once again, because there's the light right here that the crow is moving towards. And I know this is reversed, but that's how it came in. And the crow's wings were very important to me. Also, Hermes. When I think of wings, I think of Hermes. Once again, that Greek pantheon. You might work with them, or if not, you might want to check them out, because there's a lot of Greek deities and spirits that are coming in here like, hi, hello, which you never know. If you don't want to, though, don't feel like you have to, because they're very open. They are very, very open. They will never force you to do anything that you don't want to do or that you don't feel called to. And if you're like, well, how do I look into a pantheon that I'm interested in? Literally just search up Greek mythology and just kind of look through the different Greek gods. And if there's a specific Greek god that you're interested in, just look into them. Look and see who they are, if they fit, if they don't fit, and start looking at the signs that they send you or offerings, and you'll start to build a relationship there. And if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be, and you'll know. You'll know. Trust me. You'll know. The Page of Swords reversed represents a person who talks a big game but doesn't have the experience to back it up. The card reversed may also warn of jumping into hastily without proper research, and as a result, wasting energy. You heard it here, folks. This is one of my favorite cards out of this deck. The next card that I pulled was the Star, and this card is so pretty. Also, this card, I feel like some of you might be into space or astrology. The stars up here were very much giving those type of vibes. Also, you might have a very specific type of style, a very diverse style, a style that's very whimsical, very magical, very witchy, maybe even like cottagecore or like astrology themed, or very like spring, like nature themed. That's coming through as well. Also, the Star is number 47 in the deck, so 47 might be an important number. So the water was the first thing that stuck out to me. Water might be a very important element that you work with, or it might be an element that maybe you should start looking into, because it can be very healing, very grounding. And also it might just be something that you already work with, or you might have water signs in your chart. So take it where it resonates. And once again, the color blue. So you have the throat chakra again. Robins came in. If you look at this little bird, I was thinking of robins specifically. So that bird might be very important to you. And then another one that came in were bluebirds. So bluebirds might be important. And once again, color blue. Like I said, it popped up a lot. And then this 8-pointed star was very, very, very important. And honestly, I think it's just so pretty. Also, this card also reminds me a lot of Picasso. It's, I don't know, but might be might be important. And then yes, a more warmer environment, because unlike the other cards that have been kind of cold, kind of breezy, maybe we're in like autumn or winter, this one is very much like, yay, spring, summer. We have nice green grass and moss and no snow, no cold fog or mountains. So, the star. Keywords: wishes, happiness, astronomy, optimism. Element: air. Bathing in the crystal clear night sky, the crow allows the water to wash over her wings and cleanse away the negativity of the past. Water, super cleansing. And fun fact, if you didn't know this, showers can be super cleansing. Just set an intention before you get in the shower. Bada bing, bada boom. Same thing with baths. You can do the same exact thing with baths. Or worry water. I learned this from one of the creators that I follow. Her name is Jadina. You might know of her. I love her. Anyways, and worry water is basically, it can be a bath, it can be a shower, or you could just get like a cup of water or even just a small little bowl and just speak all your worries into the water and then dump it. And as you're dumping it, release the thoughts. On a branch, a songbird serenades the crow and hearkens a time of newfound optimism. The star card brings the gift of hope and a message that any problematic time in your life will soon be over, and the place you find yourself will be one of love and stability. You will feel profound transformation, one that connects spiritually, and as a result, can lead to a lifetime change. Such a beautiful card. The next card that we have up is the Emperor Reversed. God, I love these cards. They're so pretty. Okay, we have to scoot the journal up a little bit so I can read. So, immediately, the first thing that I noticed were the red and the gold of the throne. So, reds and golds. I know that we've been saying reds a lot already, but this is the first time that golds came through, so golds might be important. Also, for me personally, like gold is very much associated with a lot of the Greek gods and goddesses. But it can also be associated with the sun for me personally. We have the goat head. I'll flip the card this way so you can see it a little bit better. And personally to me, it looks like a mountain goat. So once again, mountains might be very important, or mountain goats. Also the spirit of the mountain goat might be important, because there are different animal spirits, or even just the spirit of the goat. Your Chinese zodiac also might be the goat. So if that resonates, great. And then, yes, so the feathers around the emperor's neck remind me of owls, or, what was it? Owls or eagles. So owls or eagle feathers might be very important. And for me, when I think of owls, I think of Athena, which is another Greek deity. So take it where it resonates. Another thing about this card is a lot of these cards seem to be in like rural areas, so areas with a lot of nature, with mountains, just rural, or like not really in like a huge city. So that those might be important. And yeah. Also, I apologize that this video is taking so long. I have a lot to say, and I am a yapper, and also, I have a tendency to be thinking one thing, and then one other thing pops up, and I'm like, oh, I have to channel this. I have to have to express these things. It's the neurodivergent witch in me, so bear with me. But honestly, if you're watching this video, it's because you were called to my energy, and your spirit team was like, this girl has something in this video for you. So you're probably a lot like this too with your energy and your mind. And that's okay. And also, if you're not, that's also okay. Keywords: father-like, authority, fair-minded, wisdom, protective. Element: fire. The Emperor represents masculine father energy, whereas the Empress offers abundant love and nurturing. The Emperor brings a solid foundation of order and rules that provide security and stability. The crow stands on a sword, a symbol of power, strength, protection, authority, and courage. The ram head on the throne represents leadership and initiative. The Emperor's energy brings order to chaos. He's not a dictator, nor taskmaster. He is, however, a strong leader who commands devotion through wisdom and integrity. Crows are known for passing information through their DNA to future generations, to protect them from possible dangers. The Emperor sits on his throne ready to share his knowledge and ensure all around him stay safe. Channel his power in times of uncertainty. Through fearless determination and expertise, it will manifest success. If the Emperor appears reversed, this may serve as a warning that arrogance and overconfidence are getting in the way. As a result, you risk losing the respect you crave. The next card that we have is the Six of Swords reversed. So, with this card, the first thing I immediately noticed is it's much more colorful. Also, the sun is literally starting to peek out right above me as I'm saying this. So, and this bush down here, or not bush, maybe that's important. This little stem, they remind me of cherry blossoms, so cherry blossoms might be important. Once again, Asian cultures might be important, or maybe you really like Japan. Take it where it resonates. There's little flakes on this card, and immediately I was thinking either snow or rain, which is currently raining. Wow, that is like... Oh. Okay. And as for the swirly swirls, they make me think of the ocean, like ocean waves. Also, by any fact, oh my god, throat chakra, is there by any chance, that's what I meant to say, that some of you like the musical Epic? Because I'm also getting a lot of musicals for your guys' energy. But you might be a theater kid, you might be an actor, or you might just really enjoy theater. So there's that. Also, once again, the waves kind of remind me of Asian art as well. So take it where it resonates. Oh, another important thing are lakes. I don't know if any of you live by lakes, if you like lakes, but those were also very important. When reversed, the Six of Swords indicates that you are reluctant and unprepared to commit to change. You may also be holding on to habits of the past that will not let you fully move on. This card is honestly one of my favorites. It's so pretty. But next we have the Hermit. So this was definitely the card that I was getting. Oh, there's a little blackbird flying above. I was very much getting like winter wonderland, winter in general, Christmas, like winter holidays or celebrations. Oh, there's a little bird. He's chirping. Also, forests seem very important because there's been a lot of like trees coming up. So you might live by a forest. You might like forests. Also, vintage collections. This was brought on by the little lamp right here. You might have oil lamps actually in your house. You might collect oil lamps, or you might just have some sort of vintage collection or vintage item that you really like. Or it could even be I'm seeing one of those old glass music boxes where they have like the little winter wonderland picture on them. And you open them up and you can put stuff in them, but they're also a music box and they have like a red velvet on the inside. That's very specific for some of you. I had one of those as a kid. I got it from my great-grandmother. Absolutely loved it. Also, there's a 6-point star. I'm literally pointing at it. I did not mean to, but so that seems important for somebody out there. And once again, this is part of the musical part, but Into the Woods I was getting for this card. So wherever that resonates. Time to read the definition. After I hydrate. If you have not hydrated today, please do. Your body is like a little plant. It needs nutrients. You have to feed and water it. Keywords: meditation, time alone, enlightenment, wisdom. Element: earth. The solitary hermit crow, aged and wise, is perched upon a sacred tree in quiet contemplation deep in the woods. He listens to what the tree needs to say as the falling snow lands on the smallest of branches. It is the tree that has provided the crow knowledge and is a symbol of the subconscious mind. After his time of quiet reflection, he is ready to pass his knowledge to those who are willing and prepared to travel into the thickest part of the woods. In his mouth, he holds a lantern, a symbol of wisdom to light the way. The soft, bright, glistening snowflakes represent cleansing and moving in a spiritual direction that will lead to fulfillment on one's journey. Beautiful, beautiful card. I hope you can hear the birds. They're chirping away now that the rain has stopped. For our next card, we have the Nine of Swords reversed. Sorry, I'm gonna... Ooh. I'm fine. Okay. So immediately, I noticed the bird cage. This could mean a symbolic cage, like maybe you're feeling caged, or maybe you just have like an empty bird cage around on your property, or you've seen an empty bird cage around. It could be like a vintage bird cage like this, or just a bird cage. Some of you might have pet birds, so you have a cage for them. Others of you, I was also getting that maybe some of you lost a pet bird recently, or birds, and if you did, I'm so sorry, honey. My heart goes out to you. I know what that's like as a bird mom. It is horrible, and it is honestly just never fun losing an animal in general. It hurts. So I'm sending all the love and light to you, if that is the case. Once again, I also saw the moon, and it's a crescent moon as well. Also, I'm hearing Selene, which, once again, Selene is a Greek goddess. I'm also getting Artemis. Apollo and Artemis. Let's see. If that resonates, it resonates. Also, with this card, it's very, very, very blue. It's that like dark royal indigo blue. A beautiful, beautiful color. So some of you might like, it reminds me of the night, specifically like midnight around that time. So some of you might be night owls or might enjoy that time. Others of you might just enjoy the color blue, especially this specific color. Also, I wanted to add that some of you might be feeling like literally blue. The sun is shining right now. That's why it's so bright on me right now. It's like, oh. So if any of you are feeling blue right now, just know that the sun will shine on you again. Right now. The card tapped the window. It's okay. And that you are loved and you're worthy and you're beautiful. It will pass. I promise, love. You will get through this. And the next thing that I notice, I'm gonna flip the card this way so you can see a little bit better, is this like little animal skull. It reminds me of like a vulture. So some of you might collect animal skulls. You might do taxidermy, that's important, or might like taxidermy. Also, don't ask me why, but down here, like, I channeled, how do I say this without YouTube censoring me? Basically when the same species eat one another, I was channeling that at the bottom by seeing the crow, especially with the, like, vulture skull. It reminds me of, like, you might have vultures around your energy. There we go. That's a good way to put it. But there's, hey, the cards channel what the cards want to channel. But yes, now it is time to give you the definition. The Nine of Swords reverse brings the message that you are getting worked up over nothing, and you may risk losing sight of what is most important to you. Focus more of your energy on what is happening here and now, and not on what may or may not occur in the future. I love this card. We have the Ace of Cups. Oh, it is so pretty. It is so beautiful. I love it. So immediately, this was actually the card, funny enough, that I was channeling. I almost said Hades. Hades was not who I was channeling at the time, but Hades also might want to speak to you. There's a lot of Greek deities and that are like, hi, hello. So that might be very important to you. You might work with some of these deities already, or maybe it's time that you check them out if you're willing. But what I was going to say was Apollo and the other gods of the sun from the Greek universe, or pantheon. Why did I say universe? throat chakra, or the Celtic pantheon. So immediately we see like two suns. Oh, I don't know why. We see two suns. We have this little one right here that this crow is holding, and he's glowing. But we also have this beautiful big sun back here, and also this specific style of sun right here, like the really wavy sun lines, might be important. You might really enjoy that type of aesthetic or artwork. And these lotuses down here, to me, they almost look like baby pink and magenta. So the color pink might be very important to you. So take it where it resonates. Ooh, yes, we also have, I was getting a garden here. The Goblet of Fire I was just getting. So you might be a Harry Potter fan. That, or maybe you just really like goblets. I'm getting like Ren Fairs, D&D. You might even have a collection of bronze tableware, and the sun is shining on me again, so but once again, just take any of that where it resonates. Also, I'm getting specifically bronze jewelry, bronze trinkets. So that's important. Oh, yes, and then also we have baby blue, because there's a lot of baby blue in this. So baby blue is sticking out again as a very important color. And then down here in the water, it almost looks like an O or a 0. So the letter O or the number 0 might be important to you. So let that resonate wherever it resonates. And then up here, oh, I want to make sure this is on frame. Right here, I was getting like bathroom tile or like countertop tile, or even just like kitchen tile, but some sort of like really pretty, intricate, marbly, brown, gray, coffee, bluish green tile, because those are all the colors right there. The crow sits at the edge of the cup, connecting with the profoundly intuitive energy of the water that is overflowing into 5 streams representing the 5 senses. Pink lotus flowers float in the water, symbolizing purity and an awakened spirit. The Ace of Cups denotes the start of a beautiful, loving... The sun is really, really shining right now. Loving relationship, and offers the opportunity for fulfillment in both the spiritual and physical realms. You are feeling drawn to those who are on a similar spiritual path as a way of creating more positive relationships. Literally, such a beautiful card. Oh my god! My next favorite card out of this deck. And it's so pretty. We have the 10 of Cups! And the sun is like, oh. So, yay! And I don't know if you've noticed, but like we kind of went from being like a little bit gloomy with like the rain and everything to being birds chirping, sun's shining, and she's shining bright. So, here were some of the things that I was... Oh! Also, thank you, Spirit, for just reminding me. When I was channeling for this card, the song From Now On from The Greatest Showman came up. So that song might be very important to you. And once again, musical theater. So let me know what resonates, or not. Well, I mean, you don't have to let me know, but you get it. Oh. Anyways, I love the energy of this card. So with the two crows right here, we're getting a lot of love and partnership. And once again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic, because platonic love is just as important. Also, I'm also getting familiar love. And by familiar, I mean pet. So that might be very important. I'm getting very much LA. Africa, Jamaica, Brazil, Chicago is coming in for places that are important. So I channeled those places with the tree. So take it where it resonates. Excuse me. Also, the sunflowers are really, really, really important right here. And I know for me, sunflowers are one of my biggest signs. And they're also such a joyful flower. So, and they're in a pair of 3. So once again, the number 3 is very important. And then yes, up here with these like little flowers, they reminded me of weddings or celebrations and or just spring, which right now there's a lot of weddings and celebrations and things going on in summer and spring because it's very like, oh, nice and warm. And okay, as much as I love the sun, we're gonna block her out just a little bit because she's starting to get a little bit too bright in my eyeballs. I appreciate you, but also I'm hearing there's a need for celebration for you. So, and with that being on the 10 of Cups card, yeah. And then, another thing that I was getting was birth. And if you're like me and you kind of freak out whenever you hear the word birth and you're like, what? Remember, birth doesn't always have to mean like an actual birth. It could mean like a rebirth of oneself. It could mean a rebirth of the season, which we are in spring. And also another reason why I'm getting birth is because the little crows right here, and the nest is also important. The little songbirds, once again, robins, are important. Also, one last thing, I could for the life of me not figure out what type of flower right here this was, because I was like, I know this flower. Where is it? I was Googling for like 30 minutes trying to find it. They remind me of poppies. So poppies, very, very important. And yeah. Also, before I continue, I wanted to let you know all of the other channels that I was getting that are outside of the cards. So we have the song Bye 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 by NSYNC, which for me, this was like, oh, you might be really into like 80s or 90s music, or you just have like a really diverse music taste, because I was also getting K-pop, which is something that I love to listen to. And also, while I was channeling, my parakeets were going crazy. So some of you might love parakeets. They might be like a favorite animal or something, or some of you might have parakeets. Take it wherever it resonates. I was getting Disney fairy tales, especially Maleficent, specifically, like Beauty and the Beast. I did not get that. I was gonna say Sleeping Beauty, but Beauty and the Beast might be very important. And once again, that also ties back into musical theater. You might also be chronically online, because I was getting the like I was sitting there and like just writing stuff down, and all of a sudden the little like dooba 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 dabba dooba 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 dabba like meme. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's like the little like they like this the people like hold like a little spoon out to characters of like different shows, and then they like blip blip the spoon, and then they smear it on their face and they continue licking it. I don't know. My friend loves these little videos because she's an artist, and so they give her inspiration to show. So she sends them to me. So that might be important, or just, I don't know. And you know what? If you are chronically online, girl, me too. Aren't most of us. It's okay. Don't feel shamed unless you're absorbing too much negativity from it. In that case, take a break. Take a breather. Touch some grass. Literally ground yourself. I need to take my own advice. Yes, elephants and India and henna. I was getting because on the cover of my little journal is a elephant. And it very much, oh yes, I forgot that she's shiny. But yes. So that might be important. Also, while I was listening to music, an ad for that new Minecraft movie came up. So once again, some of you guys might like Minecraft. Some of you guys might be gamers. Takeover resonates. And Jason Momoa is in the movie. And he was like, my brain was kind of just like, huh, Jason. And so that might be, that might be a channel for you guys too. Listen. I don't make the rules, okay? I channel whatever comes through. And then the last song that I channeled was Sour Candy by Lady Gaga feat. Blackpink, which once again, Blackpink is a K-pop group. So take any and all of those little extra channels where they resonate. Now we're moving on. We have 3 cards left. And then I have little oracle cards to read to you, and they are homemade oracle cards, so they don't have definitions. And I really apologize for how long that this video is going on. I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to it, because I know that sometimes I'm like, ugh, the video is so long. Oh no. So, we're getting back on track. The next card that we have is the, okay, I'm sorry, son. You are beautiful and you are amazing, but I gotta shield my eyeballs. That is getting too much. We have the 2 of Pentacles. So once again, red, immediately sticking out to me. We have wind because of this little guy right here. Also, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That might be important to some of you, because this little like whoosh reminds me of the waterbending sign. Take over resonates. Also, once again, water and air, 2 important elements. You might have them in your chart. Yes, I was getting, because these remind me of like little like water, like little pebbles and stones that you find in like a river. Rivers might be important. But you might have a collection of like coins or stones or some sort of like little collection that you have. I'm feeling like a lot of like maybe some crow energy. And honestly, same. Who doesn't love their own little collection? The little infinity sign, number 8, might be important once again. Also, not to mention, this is for any of you who like K-pop. I was channeling ATEEZ because 8 makes 1 team. So that might be important to some of y'all out there. And then also I was channeling Toy Story to Infinity and Beyond. So take any and all of that where it resonates. Oh goodness. Stop it. Okay, hold on. The Two of Pentacles is like at the very back of the book. Life offers infinite possibilities, to infinity and beyond. The Crow is in a constant motion, juggling her day-to-day responsibilities with her goals and aspirations. It is only through devoting time to both that they remain in balance. The Two of Pentacles is a reminder to ensure that the small daily tasks are not dropped because doing so could jeopardize long-term goals. The Two of Pentacles asks that you take inventory of responsibilities to make sure that you're managing everything. The next card, once again, I know that I keep saying like, oh my god, I love this card, but be for real. If any of you guys are tarot readers out there, have your own decks, you know that there's like some cards where you're like, oh my god, I love this card. And it doesn't always mean for like the meaning. Sometimes you just love the card because of what it looks like. This one, it's both. But we have the High Priestess next. This is everything that I was channeling from the High Priestess card. We have candles. The goblet almost looked like if I cover it like that, it reminded me of like a little candle. Fire. So once again, fire signs, fire energy. The element fire might be really important. Moons. And it's another crescent moon. Also, the little spots on the moon reminded me of cheese. I know. But hey, that might be important to some of y'all. So, stars are important, even like pentacles. Also, another thing that I'm getting when I think of pentacle, I think of Wicca, so you might be Wiccan. We have we have altar spaces are very important. I was getting Persephone and Hades. The Crow is very much giving me Hades, and all these little pomegranates were giving me Persephone. So, once again, Greek gods. Take it wherever it resonates. We have a veil. So, this right here reminded me of a veil. So, whether it's a wedding veil or a spiritual veil, there's some sort of veil that's important. Also, some of you might be psychic mediums yourselves. There's also, yes, the black sword. Because this sword, unlike the others, the metal almost looks black instead of like that silver color. So, might be important. And then these were all the other things that I was getting from this card. We have unicorns, dragons, Harry Potter. So very much that fantasy genre. Also, this little broom right here, or broom, wand. Brooms might be significant. Some of you might make your own little wands for fun, or you might have a wand collection from Harry Potter, or you might make your own brooms. Some of you might also have a crystal wand. I'm hearing crystal wands. And then I was getting seashells are important. Red flash ammonite. And the reason why I think that is because the crow's eye almost looks like a little seashell or red flash ammonite. And red flash ammonite is a fossilized crystal. I should have brought mine so I could show you guys for those who don't know it. But just look up what red flash ammonite is. It's actually really great for protecting yourself from negative energy. So take that where it resonates. And yeah, this was overall, I was getting like a lot of very mystical, magical for this card. Also, a lot of dark feminine. And remember, energy is timeless and it's also genderless. So, everybody has feminine and masculine energy, and everybody has dark and light energy. So it's okay. And as for our very last card that I pulled before we get to the oracle, we have the Hanged Man. And it's reversed, as you can see. First thing immediately are the poppies. The poppies popped out. So somebody in here, poppies are important. Also, once again, to my gamers, I think of the game Poppy Playtime. That might be important to some of y'all. And then there's these blue flowers right here. These were all the flowers that I was channeling that these could represent. So we have the forget-me-nots, which one of my favorite flowers. They're absolutely beautiful. I love the meaning of them. We have this kind of the branch kind of remind me of thorn bushes. And then because there's a crow hanging off of this, I was getting injured wildlife. Like some of you may have recently helped an injured animal. It doesn't have to be wildlife. Or maybe sometime soon you guys will end up seeing an injured animal and we'll help them out or rescue them in some way, shape, or form. We also have all these colors in the back, like those little like streaky lines. They remind me of the Northern Lights, so the Northern Lights might be important. Also kind of going with Sleeping Beauty again. The thorn bushes, I think of Maleficent and Aurora. And another name for the Northern Lights is Aura, or it's like Aura or Aurora, something along those lines. So take those where they resonate. Another thing, these were other flowers that I was channeling for these little blue guys right here, were periwinkle, third chakra, hydrangeas, morning glory, and once again, with the poppies, Himalayan blue poppy. And yeah, those were all the channels that came in for this card. Okay. Keywords: delay, letting go. Delay, letting go. Waiting to decide. Element: water. The crow hangs from the blossoming cherry tree, allowing his wings to fall in complete surrender. Cherry trees again. Cherry blossoms. He stays still, leaning into the position and allowing the blood to rush in to nourish his brain. Away from the raucous noises of the roost, he has let go and... Oh my god, throat chakra. He has let go and is at peace. It is in the silence he will discover the answer he needs to help move a project or desire forward. The hangman asks that you put the situation or plan on pause so that you can look at it from a different angle. There may be a vital element that you are missing, and the result may be a longer delay. The hangman may suggest getting away from the situation both mentally and physically so that you can recharge your energy and approach the issue with renewed vitality. This card may also represent a project but put on hold due to an external force out of your control. The only course of action is to wait patiently. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. All right. Also, I wanted to let you guys all know, in case you don't know, we do have an eclipse today. So, that might be important, to some of y'all. Okay, now we're going to get onto the oracle and end this reading off. Once again, I am so sorry that this has gone so long. I was not expecting my first video to go on for this amount of time, but that's okay, because everybody's videos are different. And this little oracle deck that I made, it's basically full of quotes and what do you call it? Affirmations, there we go. For many different messages that one may need to hear. Everything will be fine. There will be times when you feel at your worst. I've had that kind of time too. But when you look back at it, it becomes a memory and you can learn from it. It'll be okay in the end. Min Yoongi. Also, that one is in blue. So once again, the throat chakra. It will hurt and hurt and hurt. And one day, stop hurting. Unknown. And that one is in pink. So we have pink coming up again. Be a seeker of everyday magic. Kim Woo-sung. That one is in purple. A little fun fact for you guys. One of my favorite colors is purple. So one of y'all might have a favorite color. One of y'all's favorite color might be purple too. Fire test gold. Tough situations test endurance. Unknown. That one is in red. You are allowed to grieve over the child you could have been. Ooh. This one needs to be read over again. You are allowed to grieve over the child you could have been. Unknown. That one's in purple. Such a beautiful, beautiful message there. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. That one is in red. My alone feels so good. I'll only have you if you're sweeter than my solitude. Warsaw Shire. That one's in purple. There is no end to your dream's journey, but it's okay to take a break today. Lee Ji-hoon. That one is in gold. I don't know if I hope it's shiny. But ooh. Forget what hurt you, but never forget what it taught you. This is another one that I need to read over again. Forget what hurt you, but never forget what it taught you. Kim Tae-hyung. This one is also in gold. And the last one that we'll end this reading off with. You'll go through all the ups and downs in order to find yourself and your identity. Choi Honsol. That one is in red. That is the end of this channeled message that I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching this video and for interacting. And thank you all so much as well for coming into my channel. I hope that I did well for my first video, and I will see you all in the next video, Rubies. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever time you're watching this. Remember, energy is timeless. I am filming this on the 29th of March. And the channeled messages that I got for the cards I pulled yesterday on the 28th. But yeah, I'll see you all again.